So tonight we're talking about building our children's social interaction, and we have in our midst. Okay, thank you for muting. All right, and we have in our midst our very own Morenikeji. She's proudly a PRGCC member. I believe she's a foundational member. She's been with us from the very beginning. Okay, she's acted in various capacities, executive. She's been a volunteer. She's been an awesome sister. All right, and she's been a solid support, support system for PRGCC. So I'm so excited that she's speaking to us again tonight. Okay, so she's a professional. Morenikeji is a professional accountant with many years of experience. While in Nigeria, she worked in one of the commercial banks before proceeding to Canada. She's a wife and a mother of 3 lovely boys. She's a promoter of family life and work-life balance. In her spare time, she enjoys cooking, reading, and playing with her kids. She's a member of PRGCC and a returning speaker. She's an embodiment of wisdom, and I've been looking forward to this session tonight because I know that she epitomizes all the things that she's going to be speaking to us tonight. So please welcome with me Morenikeji Onemheghe. I don't know if if I pronounce that correctly. All right, KG, you're welcome, and I'm super excited to have you here tonight. Please let's give virtual welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello, KG.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah,
okay, good evening, everyone. I'm glad to be here today. I'm happy that I'm able to make today's meeting. It's been difficult for Sister Biola to grab me to speak to us, but I'm glad I'm able to find time. I said, oh, no problem. I'll take this because one, where I am, whenever it's summer, we see the sun, we try to maximize it and spend most times outside. So the kids are back in school, so we are getting back to normal routine. So tonight we'll be talking about building your child's social interactions, and it's going to be an interactive session, because we are talking about interactions, and we all interact. I believe we all interact. What we are doing here is an interaction. We're having an interaction. So it's going to be, an interactive session. So to begin with, thank you, Stabella, for the introduction. And let me welcome everyone once again. And just a little bit of house, cleaning. Let's mute ourselves as we join in, and when we have questions, we can just signify by raising our hands. Sister Bella, please help me monitor the chat box while I'm, speaking, because I may not be able to, keep an eye on that. If you have questions, please feel free to ask before we move on, or you can keep your questions till the end of the session. So to begin with, what is social interaction? I don't know. So I won't take much of our time since we have limited time. I'll just go in. So social interaction is, like I said, is an exchange between 2 or more people, communication. We are interacting. That's what interaction is all about. And this is like the bedrock of a society. You can't have a society where people don't interact. People interact by talking and, communicating. And there's, like we say, communication is very important. It's like the most important ingredient in a family, in marriage. A marriage that lacks communication definitely is bound, it's bound to crash. How can 2 people be together and you don't communicate? How do you achieve goals? Even before you got married, definitely there have been interactions, you've been communicating. So interaction is just people communicating with one another, and when we talk about communication, now we're bringing it down to our children. How do we help them make the right choices, in their words, in how they say things and all that. Communication doesn't mean I just open my mouth and I say things because I want to say it. No, there are ways of saying things. There are, I like to say, there are times, like the Bible says, there are times, season and times. So even for us to talk, there will be time. Like Yorubas will say, ayewa but orosi, orowa ayosi, meaning at times you want to say certain things, but there won't be room for you to say such things. Yeah. So that's what interaction is all about. So when we're talking about social interaction, we can't talk about that without talking about, social skills, which is what we use to communicate and interact with. And when we talk about social skills with communication, we have the verbal and non-verbal. Like I'm talking, I'm, gesticulating, using my hands, you can see me and other stuff. We have body language. These are non-verbals. We have our appearance, the way we appear. And like we have the saying, you dress the way you want to be addressed, right? You see some people, the way they are dressed, you're like, you don't talk to them, you see, you don't talk to them with as much respect as we talk to someone else that is dressed in another way. Okay, so our personal appearance also determines the way we are, we are addressed. And like I also said, our gestures, because as human beings, we are, we are sociable creatures, and we have to communicate our messages, pass our messages across, our thoughts, our feelings with other people. And so when we talk about that, we also need to know that, when we talk, when we communicate, especially speaking, it goes beyond what comes out of our mouth. Verbal communication involves the tone of our voice, the volume of the speech, and our choice of words. Like I said earlier, at times I can say there are ways that we can be politely rude, like we have the Gen Zs now. If you see a Gen Z write up, you will know it's a Gen Z write up. And when you see Gen X or Generation Y write up, you will know. You always see that difference in the way they communicate. And there's this social media term now. You say, oh, all these Twitter children, because on Twitter, I don't know, many people are so savage on Twitter. If you don't have the heart, you don't want to go on Twitter, because you don't even want to start a conversation with some people on Twitter, or you don't even want to put anything out there, because one, people might misinterpret what you're saying, and then the way people interpret it is the way they respond, and then some responses will not, sit well on you. So these are things when we communicate, why we need to develop our children's communication skills. It goes a long way, because the benefit is beyond measure. It helps their mental health. When we are growing up, nobody taught us, mental issues were not as common as it is right now. People, and then maybe because back then the way we were brought up to always respect people. You don't just open your mouth to say things, and you have to think before you speak. Unlike what we have right now, people just talk anyhow. Maybe this has increased because of the use of social media, and many people are in quotes invisible, so they feel they can just let out anything anytime, all that stuff. So why do we need to develop our children's social skills? I've said that. And I like to be practical, okay? I'm a very social person. I like to be practical. And I know that there's no one way suits all. The way you will develop the younger kids' social skill is different from the way you develop teenagers, okay? Because it's always good to start at the beginning, is good, but there is no time you can't start. If we haven't gotten it right from the beginning, we can, always work on it as they grow older. It's a continuous process. We all learn every day. people learn every day. You find out that that's why organizations pay a lot for executives to go for trainings where we talk about emotional intelligence. They go for, it's not all about IQ, social intelligence and all that. So when we talk about social intelligence, is what we are talking about today. Social interaction is an arm of social intelligence too. Okay. And many of us as parents, we look more on, we tend to build more of our children's IQ. We don't focus more on our children's emotional intelligence and social intelligence, which are very, very important, because we need to be able to raise children that are emotionally balanced too. They need to be, besides academically sound, they need to be emotionally sound and socially balanced. Yeah. So I know some parents can say, "Oh, my children, my child is an introvert. They don't like socializing and every other thing." Fine. There are people like that. I remember growing up when I was in primary school. I was more of an introvert. I don't speak much. I was the first, and there was maybe as the first, there's always much expected of you. So when I get back from school, I have my desk and my chair. I just sit down there. You won't catch me watching TV. I will just sit down. I will just immerse myself in my books, read. I hardly play. Maybe only on weekends, okay, after church, I'll do the same thing with from my neighbors and all that stuff. So when I tell people that I don't know how to skip, they say, how don't you, even my kids, they laugh at me that, how don't you know how to skip? Because when my mates are out there skipping, jumping ropes and all that stuff, I'm there doing the FICO and, studying, solving maths and all that stuff. So the time when I got to my secondary school, things started changing gradually because one, it was, even though it was also, it was a public school, it was more of a religious school. It was a Baptist school, but we had mixture. I met people from other, what's it called? Other schools coming, mixed schools, not from my primary school alone, from other schools. And then, you now meet people with different background, different orientation, different upbringing. And you now find out that some people want to boy, they want to bully you in quote, and then you need to stand up for yourself. And I thank God for the kind of father I had. He actually helped me in building my social skills because one, how can you be in a place and people don't know you? Or how can you be in a place and people don't feel your impact? Am I communicating, please? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, KG.
Okay, thank you. So it tells us, how can you be in a place and people don't feel your impact? Or you say you belong to a group and nobody knows you, they don't know anything about you. I started building my social life from that, point. And my dad would come home at times and might be in bed. He would just put us in the car in our pajamas and our nightwears and drive us down here and say, oh, this is our papa. We grew up at Sabo, and he said, this is our papa. Okay. Then that Sabo in Yaba, our papa, he takes you to our papa. The next time, he will take you there in the public transport. After that, he will give you enough transport fare and tell you, go to our papa and then come back. I remember that my mom was like, oh, no, what will happen if my child should get missing? And my dad will say, I never give birth to a child that cannot speak. Okay? And it is left to the child if the child cannot use what he or she has to find a solution to whatever problem or challenge he or she is facing at that time. So that taught us how to be, not to be vocal in the negative way, but to be, how would I put it, to be able to think out of the box, okay? To be able to find a way where there is no way. And like I tell my kids too, I tell them, there is never one solution to a problem. So if you try it one way, if it doesn't work this way, you can try it another way. If it doesn't work that way, keep trying another way. And I tell them that's how scientists also discover, things for us. They keep trying, so you don't give up. So, things like these are ways that I'm trying to bring it practical, make it practical for us to bring it down to what we can do, what has worked, not just what we have on textbooks and every other thing. We'll talk about what I wrote off from research and all that stuff. So they said it can be frustrating, fine, yes, true. When you watch your child struggle to make friends and have, maybe they have a difficult time fitting into, certain social settings or maybe into school and all that stuff. But it's our responsibilities as parents to help, improve their social skills. So from what I gathered, the first one is that let's follow their interest. We can follow their interest. That is enjoying what our kids like. Okay. Oh, they like doing certain things. Naturally, when a child likes, doing something, that means they're genuinely interested in it. So whether it's in a sport, or playing an instrument, or being part of a club they're interested in, this is like, the first step in building their social skill. So you found that they are interested in this thing. So you can, help them build that interest. So surround them with people that are like-minded. That's like-minded individuals. And this will probably help ease your child into making friends and developing, those that social skill and have a great social interaction with others. So it is important to be able to socialize with those with varying interests too. Starting out with other kids who like the same thing is an excellent way to to more easily build social skills, like I said. So what is this? I have kids. Okay. My kids are not teenagers. Okay. But one thing I've done is this. I've noticed what they all like, what they like doing and all that stuff. So what I do is I have friends whose kids are also in the same age range. So we try to organize, bring them together to do the same things and they have fun doing those things. And apart from that, we find that at times they don't like certain things, but these are things that would help them, that helps them to, how like we build their social skills. And I, encourage them to do that. Like I tell my son, he doesn't like writing, but I told him it's good to write. So what I did is I bought them journals. So every day you not just write. You're not submitting to anybody. It's for you. Write what you feel, what you learned for today, and just put it down in writing. And then when he speaks, at times he talks to me. I'm like, no. If you write the way you speak, that means you won't write well. So correct yourself and think about it that you're not talking to me, you're talking to someone else. How would you do that? Then we should also teach our children to learn to ask questions. I know that most African parents, our parents back then, they don't like us asking them questions. They're like, who are you to question me? Because it was like you can't question their authority. But the children we have these days, they want to know why. Why? And it's always important that we let them understand why. Because if you don't tell them the why, they won't rest until they get the why. And whoever it is that might tell them the why might be telling them the wrong thing. So let them ask questions. So sometimes when children get nervous or or a conversation is fizzing out, it's getting cold. Okay, so there are several ways children can initiate and carry on positive conversations with others. And one of the important ways is for them to ask questions. Okay, let them ask relevant questions that can, help them. And you as parents, you can also ask them questions. Talk to your children, not only about books, okay, what happened in school and every other thing. Think of, this brings us to the next suggestion, which says, excuse me, practice role playing. Okay, so for younger kids, it's a great way for kids to actively practice their social skills. Have your child pretend to be the person they have difficulty talking to or getting along with. This will give them an idea of what this person is like, or at least how your child perceives this particular person. So if they have difficulty talking to someone, oh, I don't know, this person in my class, I can't talk to them and every other thing. And I ask them, why do you think this person is being difficult? Okay, let's change rules. Put yourself in the person's shoes. This also helps a lot. So when you switch rules, this will help, to the child to see from another angle. Okay, and then you can also, as a parent, suggest effective way they can talk with the individual, So you don't have to, you let them know that maybe the way you said it. I know that one of my son is the way he speak, it can come out as being aggressive and all that stuff. So I try to correct him and tell him that, you know what, if you don't get it right at home, there's no way you're gonna get it right out there, especially in school. And when you are tagged as, they see us, excuse me, if you are tagged as, giving a tag in school, it's always difficult to get that tag off you. So you need to work on yourself, on your tone of voice and, your choice of words is very important. And like I tell them, when we talk about, interaction, there are different ways. We talk about, conflict resolution is part of social interaction. How do they resolve conflict? So I tell them, when you're angry or someone has done something you don't like and you are really hungry, I tell them, don't take an action at that time because you might do something you might regret. So you take them, okay, if someone has done something you don't like, take a deep breath. If there's room for you to walk away, you walk away. Okay, walk away, clear your head. Don't address the issue immediately. When you are calmer, okay, you're at peace, you cannot address the issue and let them know, I don't like it. If my little boy, who is 4 years old, comes to me and cry, oh, this person did this to me and all that stuff, and I'm like, okay, so did you let the person know you don't like what they did? It's not for me to go and fight for you. So you should let the person know you don't like what he did. Let the person know. And you say what? Say it nicely. You want to sit down or you want to take something, you ask nicely. It's important we do that.
I didn't understand that.
Sorry. Yeah. So we teach them to ask, questions, role play, and then we also teach our children empathy. As Christians, as parents that are trying to raise godly children, it's important that what we teach our children empathy, we teach our children love, kindness. You understand? Because if children have a better understanding of how others feel, they are much more likely to feel connected to other people and form positive bonds. So let's teach our children empathy by talking about different situations and scenarios with our kids. Ask them how other people might feel when each of us, when these things, these scenarios you're having, when they happen. It helps them when you build, when you talk, you talk to them, you give them scenarios, they see things in, you bring it back down home to them at their level. You understand? So they learn, and apart from that, you're also teaching them how to listen actively. Because one of the skills they need to develop is active listening. So they don't hear themselves speak alone. It's good to, like, I have a son, my second son is, like I said, Sister Viola, is a handful. And I don't know if it's the second born syndrome that is affecting him or whatever, because I heard that second borns are always tough and all that stuff. But I believe I tell him, like this morning, we still had that conversation. I tell him, you know what? You are gifted. Your gift, I want you to channel it positively into positive things. You understand? So I try to calm him down. At times he wants to talk to me and every other thing. I'm like, listen, this is not the time to talk. This is the time to listen. And he's like this. I say, you see, that is what that person said. Well, because you were not listening, you didn't hear. So we also need to teach our children how to listen attentively. And how do we teach them? By also practicing it with them. When they need our attention, we should listen to them. If we are doing something important, we can always let them know it's not the right time. So they don't feel that you are neglecting them. Yesterday we went out, we had an outing. My whole girls, my secondary school association here in Canada, we had our summer hangout and all that stuff. And in their midst, I was like the youngest. I had grandmas and mothers from 1968 sets, 70 sets. And I'm like, oh, really? But it was fun and all that stuff. And I watched my 4-year-old, he sat down with one of the grandmas from 68 sets, and they were, they were having a serious conversation, and I could see the interest in her as if she was captivated. We were talking, and I was like, from afar, I took their picture and I sent it to her. She really appreciated it. And when we were coming back home, she was sharing it in the bus that, it's such a wonderful weather. He was telling me, I had an awesome time. I did this, I did that. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm glad. And the other one wanted to sit, and he just sat down. I'm like, no, when people are on a table or on a bench, you don't just sit, you ask if you can join them on the seat. Don't just assume that you can sit down with them, maybe because you've been sitting with others and every other thing. I'm not saying it because others are there, but I'm also teaching him because he's going to grow up into a man. He will go out tomorrow and then he will just sit. And people might just say that, is it that you don't have home training or you don't know? So if we don't tell them, they won't know. So we need every opportunity gives us room. Every event gives us, the opportunity to teach our children. And apart from that, we should need to also know our children's limits. Okay, you see, some children are, more sociable than others. So we talked about children that are being introverted. You don't expect them to interact with the same way as a child who is, naturally outgoing. The difference will always be there. But what we are trying to do is to make sure that our children can stand on their feet, can express themselves without fear or favor. They can stand for what is right. They can defend their faith. They can defend their values and who they are. Yeah. So how we do it, how they do it is this. We can have different messages, the same messages, but different ways of delivering it. But we want our children to be able to deliver their message in the right way, in the way that people who hear them or who read, what they are saying, or who watch them do not misinterpret what they are trying to say. Okay? So, and above all, we have to be good role models to our children. So it is important because we need to be conscious of what we are doing, because the way we interact with others, our children are watching. Are you asking questions of others and then taking the time to listen actively, like I said earlier? Do you show genuine empathy for friends and family in your life? So being an effective role model requires conscious effort and forethought. Children are constantly watching adults in their lives. It is important to remember that it will take time for your child to develop good social skills. Social skills are something that are developed and improved upon over a lifetime. I'm sure that many of us, if we look back to, the skills we had when we were younger and what we have now, you find out that there is really there has been a great improvement, because at every stage in our life, we are expected to have, different skills, and we can have a variety of skills. The skills we require for our personal interactions with friends and family is not the same skills we require for what? Our professional interactions. Okay, and when we are talking about being role models, remember what the Bible tells us, that in the books of Proverbs, that directs your children onto the right path, and when they are older, what? They will not, depart from it. They will not leave that path. So what they are doing is what? And like we said, the what is it called? There has been quite a number of work to prove that people actually pay more attention to what you do than what you say. Yeah, they've done it. As in, we've had so many examples of people, proving it to us that what you do is more important than what you say. And we all know the English proverbs that say, action speaks what? Louder than words. So like I said, these are some tips that can help us for the building our children. Let's look at the younger kids. We don't want to push them too hard. So when they are struggling, it's not the time for us to force them to do something against their will. No, they won't. Instead, pick one, 2 or 3 activities that your children like, and have them choose one. While they choose that one, you work on it. Don't feel like you have to keep your child at home if your child is an introvert that doesn't like making friends. No, if your child is shy, give them opportunities for them to meet potential friends. Potential friends can start from your immediate circle, your friends' children. Plan play dates with if they don't like going out, maybe you can invite your own friends and their kids to your house first, and watch how your child, interact with those children. And then you can plan another play date by returning the visits to your friend's house. Or, excuse me, then from there, you can take it another step further. You can play dates to anywhere around. I know that back home in Nigeria, we don't have, parks and all that stuff. Unlike what we have here, we have quite a lot of parks. So what you can do is maybe just, okay, I know in Nigeria, we have a lot of, eateries. You don't want to do something expensive and every other thing. So you just, maybe you go to Domino Pizza. Yeah, and that's where we have the ice cream. What's the name of the ice cream place too? They can have ice cream too, and they sit down, they have fun, and just watch your child, and try to see what your child like. If they don't like any other, okay, say, okay, what other activities? There are activities you can do with your children too. So encourage them. If it's school, encourage them to join, clubs in school, societies. I know that in secondary schools, we have society days. When we were in secondary school, I think Wednesday or Friday used to be society days, where you have people in literally at the poet club, you have the press club, you have the drama club, you have the Red Cross, the Boy Scout, the Girl Guide. So they can join any of this, and this will also help them to make friends. It will also help them to speak, help them to develop that, interactive skills that they need. And apart from that, at home, plan family activities at home. You can do another thing we also do in the house is, I do with my kids, is we do a lot of what we call I don't know if anybody knows the chariot. We do all these chariots with, like, I can do something and I ask you, okay, you have to say what I'm trying to say, or the phrase, or the object I'm trying to portray. Like, I'm here now, I'm like, and I ask, what am I? I've done something. Can anybody tell me what I was trying to portray? I need an answer, please. I want someone to answer me, except you want me to do it again. If you didn't get it.
Please do it again.
Okay. Yes. Can someone tell me?
Madam Lecturer.
That was an easy one. Yeah, a lecturer or a teacher. I'm writing on the board and I'm getting back to the students in the class. I'm like, I'm like asking them, put it in your notes. That's it. So we have a lot of that. Actually, my kids taught me this game. And guess what? We had a ladies' hangout during this summer. I've not met 90% of the ladies in that hangout before. We are all on the same WhatsApp group, but we've not met physically and all that stuff. And we played this game. And when we played this game, the first person that tried for our team, she didn't know much about it. So she was unable to portray, to act the things on the card. So we didn't, and the other team had a good head before us. And then we now had to change who was representing us. We just started going, and I'm like, oh, this is it, this is it, this and that. And they're like, we were able to win the other team because they were like 5 points ahead of us. We caught up with them and we won the game at the end of it all because one, the other lady was able to, display the questions correctly, and we were able to answer, fast, and we're able to answer more questions within the time we were given and all that stuff. So it was fun. And to be sincere, I gave the what's it called? The appreciation to my kids because they taught me this game. We do it a lot, and we all come in and we say, okay, we do this, and they've showed me how to cook noodles and everything. So it's fun. Have fun time with your kids. When you build this fun time with your kids, when you go out, they'll be able to do the same thing. And so I want to talk about for teenagers, okay? Or for teenagers. For teenagers, friendship it does more to them than companionship and entertainment. At this time at that level, they cherish friendship a lot. They is a time where they build trust, and when a friend does something back to them, they feel the impact more. They're able to express themselves, and they're able to show what they really expect of they're able to tell what they expect from that friendship they are in. So it's always difficult to is a difficult time. But like if we are started, like I said earlier, when you start at an early stage, when they get to this stage, it will be easier because you've laid the foundation. But if we haven't laid that foundation, if we still have a teenager that is still shy and all that thing, I believe that our children should be our best friend before they even make friends outside. Because you would have made it a routine in your family for you to have family time, build that social skills, within your family before even taking it out. But if you haven't done that, don't feel bad. Today is always a good time to start. Okay, so you can start now. Start building that relationship with your child by being your child's friend first. Okay, try to talk things out with them, or find out what your child thinks the problem is. Especially, they have this my friend is no longer talking to me. She's making new friends. I don't look, I don't feel relevant again and all that. So probably because they used to be close and someone new came in and every other thing. Try to talk things out with your child. Okay, what do you think the problem is? Okay, how can we improve the situation? Ask questions again. Like I said, help your child to brainstorm comfortable ways, to make friends. Then like say, practice the skills of meeting people and building friends, It's the same thing with like that, but at this level, the way you do for younger kids is definitely going to be different for, older kids. You will play until your child feels comfortable approaching other things and keeping a conversation. And they can never get it wrong when they sign up for a new activity. Oh, let them at this age they can do sporting activities. So engage them in one of the sporting. I know it can be expensive back home in Nigeria and all that stuff. Fine, if not, the ones they offer in their school, let them do something, let them be a part of it. It won't cost us, it's already part of the school package, I believe. So they can join any club or groups in the school, and then from there, you can't be in a club and not interact with someone, will not talk to people. No, they will definitely talk to people. Okay, like I said, then let them that you can go for walks in your neighborhood. Okay, you go for walks in your neighborhood, you walk around, you see people. Oh, the way you greet people around, your children are watching, and from there they say, oh, definitely your children will say, oh, when you're going out in the neighborhood, you go for walk, you're saying hi to your neighbors, and definitely the way our culture and greeting, definitely my child will also greet that person. And next time you're watching, maybe the person you're greeting is also with the child, they see each other in the child, where the two children see one another. From there, they greet, you can take the conversation. But for one thing is this, guidance is very, very important. As we are helping our children to make friends, teaching them how to make friends, it is important that they need to pray about the friends they're making. They need to know what they want to achieve from that friendship. And I know that many of our teens make friendship online and all that, so social media and everything. That one is a very deep conversation that would address some other time. I don't think we'll have enough time to address, handling of social media right now, because it's a lot. I don't believe that a child less than 13 should even have access to a phone, not talk of being on social media. And if they're going to be on social media, it's going to be only on educative, apps that will add value to them. Maybe the ones that teach them coding, not at Snapchat or other stuff, or for them to communicate with their friends, maybe Messenger Kids. That one you can, you have control over it as parents, because it's your logon and every other thing. You just create that profile, like a sub profile for your child, and then you can, help them when they had friends. You see everything they do. You watch their conversation, you watch what they're doing and every other thing. Make friends with their classmates' parents. I know back when many of us are busy with work, we hardly go for open days, not to talk of PTA meetings and all that stuff. But it would be nice to know the kind of parents are in your children's school. When you meet with their parents, you'll be able to know what they value and what they don't value, and you want to know if their values align with your values, if you want your children, or if there are ways you can also help their child, to become a better person. I remember last year, my kid in one of my kids' school, there was a child there that had that every vocabulary he had was bad. And I'm like, when my son comes and he say, this person says so things, this person says so, I'm like, is your teacher aware? So I had to talk to the teacher. And before I even approached the teacher, we had a new Nigerian family in the school, in their class, triplets. So, and the parents came. The first day I met the parents, I'm like, oh, why? This and that. My son told me that he has some Nigerians in his class, triplets. So I spoke to the parents before the kids came out, and we just got talking, and I found out that they were also Yorubas, and we got talking, and so went to, and I told her, I was like, please, has any of your kids mentioned this particular person to you? She said yes. I said, and she was like, oh, that boy, this and that. I said, yes. So we talked about it, and both of us approved the teacher, and we spoke to the teacher and every other thing. It's like, so, from there, I got to know that, okay, this is someone that, shares the same value as I do. And I would like my son to be friends with them. And from there, we planned a play date, even though we didn't have time to meet over the holidays, but we still hold them. The kids are holding it to us that we promised them a play date, and we have to fulfill that before the weather changes. And apart from that, for teenagers, even when they make a complaint, you give them, it's important that you also do what? Follow up. It's important we follow up, okay? Help them get things going. If they're like, okay, yes, I have a friend, but she stays like 2, 3 streets away and every other thing. Okay, no problem. Offer to drop the child off for the play date or to take them out to wherever event or activity they are going to together. And that's after you've made contact with the parents. It's always important. Let them invite their true friends home. I remember growing up, my dad always say, bring your friends home. He wants to know. My parents were like, invite your friends home. So we had an open up policy. Everybody invites your friend. And so they're able to assess them when they come. And they're able to give feedback. And they know that, okay, yes, at this stage, you're able to make the right choices, make the right friends that will help you, grow. So, like I said earlier, we don't force our children to do anything. There is no age that a child cannot make friends. Ultimately, what your child has to do, you can make friends for your children, but the ultimate work, the hardest part of it is your child building that social bonds. So what we do as parents is to like open the door for them and let the children explore on their own. But how do we open the door is what I've said. Plan play dates. Like I'm not saying dates, so I say play dates. There are different types of dates. You can say play dates or social dates, okay? From there, they can make friends and other stuff. And when they come back from play, they ask them what they enjoyed from, this play dates, what they gain, what they feel, you feel okay, what do they feel can be done differently, what they don't like, so that next time you know how to work on it. Like I said, it doesn't have to be expensive. Just work within your budget. It can be in your home. And then you find their friends, so leave them in the sitting room. Stay somewhere. You are listening to what they are saying, and every other thing, not too far. Okay? And you get feedback from your children. And this can only happen with our teens. Our teens can be open to us if we build that trust with them. Let them know. I'm someone that always say that one thing is this: let your children know your family values. Keep reminding them every day what your values are. Keep reminding them who they are, okay, and why they are here on earth. Our children are gift from God. We are just custodians of this gift from God. So it is our responsibility to help them to make the right choices. And how do we help them make the right choices? By telling them reminding them of who they are. And apart from that, by being the greatest role models. Not we saying something and doing something else, practicing what we preach. If I'm telling my child it's not proper to yell at someone, I hope I am also not yelling at them. If I'm telling my child that you keep your hands to yourself, am I keeping my hands to myself? If I'm telling my child to show love and kindness to others, am I doing that to them? Or I'm busy gossiping with my own friend in the presence of my kids, telling them that, can't you see what this person did, this and that? I can never associate with this person. And then I'm always telling them to associate with other people or not giving them the reasons why we don't do this as Christians. Okay, so if you see that your children are struggling to make friends or getting rejected by other kids, don't hang back and just feel miserable. My child is not doing this. There are lots you can do to help your child build and practice the skills to make 1 or 2 friends. They don't need so many friends. Just 1 or 2 really close friends is all they need. And that's all they really need in life. And once they make this 1 or 2 friends, it helps us to help them, how will I put it now? Maintain and sustain those friendships. That's it. And like I said, it all starts from home. Charity, they say, begins at home. And I believe I've been able to do a little bit of justice to this our topic today. Looking at the time. Sister Abiola, over to you. I don't know if anybody has any questions or comments.
You have done more than justice. Awesome session. Awesome.
Thank you. I wish it was more interactive.
Well, we'll be bringing you back. You said something about the social media. All right.
Yes. I'm really passionate about that because you see, well, maybe because of the society I am in, but it's also happening at home. I saw a video back sometimes ago about a lady that said she saw a girl in a bus and the girl was saying, I'm on my way. And she was like, where are you going to? Where are you going to me? And at the end of the day, she discovered that the girl she was a teenager and she was going to meet a guy she met online. She actually had to give the girl transfer fare to go back home and make sure that the girl went back home, didn't continue to that person's house to meet a guy. There's so many, predators out there hiding behind, social media, faceless people doing so many things to our children. And then all these social media creators, all the owners of these social media apps, all they care about is their own profits. That is it. You need to know how they monitor your children. That's it. Those of us that are fond of posting our children in their school uniform online, or we post our picture with our family online, we say, fun times at so place, you just put, maybe I just put London. That point that I've said London somewhere, all those hackers, they will trace it to where you are. They can trace it and discover where you are. So at times you wonder how do people trace you. So let's be careful what we put out there. I can see Sister Bolu's hand up. Sister Bolu, you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thanks for the session. I have a question related to social club.
Yeah.
Children joining social club. I could remember when I was in secondary school, I joined a social club. But at a point, they will say they're having a social week. And when I saw that what they were doing was wrong, I had to back out. So how do we make these children know that even when you are joining social club, there are limits?
Thank you very much, Sister Boone. If you remember while I was talking, I made mention of something. I said, it is important that children understand our family values. They understand who they are. They understand whom they are. Remember I said that. So when our children understand that this is what I represent, this is what I stand for, when they join this social club, they can either go there to make a difference, or if they are not, they can always, like you say, you have to back out, knowing that this is not the right place for me. That's it. You'll be surprised. Some children can be change makers. I can get to a place today and things are not working the way it should work or whatever. You can be the agent of change. to bring sanity back into that society. And that can be possible if you only have people, like I said, of like minds in that group too. If I'm there with my friend, like someone like you, and we both share the same value, we say things the same way, probably we talked about it the same way, we can come up to say, okay, no, we don't want to be part of this. Or once we make our own stance known, and it seems that majority carries the vote, or they want to like maintain their own status quo, definitely I know that that's not where I belong to. I can always withdraw from that club and look for another one that aligns with my values, and that will glorify God. That's it. Sorry, I don't know if this is he or she. Is that Sister Tejiri? You have the floor, Sister. Is it? Sorry, I don't know if you're a male or female. So, Sister Tejiri.
Tejiri, please, you have the floor. You have your hand raised.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
please go on. Go on,
Yeah,
please.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the time and doing a great job.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm a sister. Yes, I have so much to ask that I don't think I can exhaust it in a whole day.
No
I have
problem.
a teenage son. Okay, I have a teenage son, and communication is really difficult with him, in the sense that it's what he wants to do. Doesn't obey or take instructions. And I find out that when I try to enforce him taking instructions, it kind of dull the atmosphere. We won't speak. We can travel for miles and we're not talking to each other. It's my kind of trying to enforce discipline, and him rejecting it kind of cause a chaos or just make the atmosphere go quiet and we don't talk. Okay. I noticed it and I'm trying to see how I can cause a change. It has not been easy. And I also find out that I don't know how to correct quietly. Most of the times I'm yelling and shouting and enforcing it with, don't know how to go about it.
Okay.
And so much. How do I, because having a son that when you're trying to enforce discipline, he retaliates and use cussing words on you, and you don't know how to go about it. I don't know what to do about that too, as a single mother.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sister Tejiri. I feel your pain. And like I said, I have 3 boys. They are not yet teenagers, but if you remember, I said that my second is a handful. So I understand what you're saying. With such kids, force will not work. I don't know what your son really likes doing. What does he like doing?
He likes, most of the times he wants to be on watching the TV, cartoons, or he's drawing, or he's out there playing football. Yeah, those things. Okay. He likes them, yes.
Okay. Great, sorry. Now, your son likes to watch TV. Have you tried to watch TV with him? What he wants, not what you want to watch on TV.
Yes, I do that. I watch what he watch. Yes.
Now, he likes to play football. Yes. Sister I said you get on the field with him. You see, when he's having fun, and while he's having fun, in that mood of fun and every other thing, chip in 1 or 2 things, just one thing, take it 1 step at a time. Remember I said that do, what interests them. You need to build it. You don't want your son to be lost. Okay? The first thing is this. Okay? Get down on your knees and pray for wisdom before you start the project. You see, training our children is like a project to us. Okay? It's a project. So you need to get down on your knees. Okay, work on yourself. I know you said you don't know how to correct quietly. You need to work on that first. I used to be like that. Once in a while, I still yell. So which day was it? My son was telling them, "Mommy, you know, like, why are you talking quietly?" I'm like, "Huh? I don't want to die young now." Well, if shouting will not do anything now, and every other, I know, because right now my husband is not here with me. It's just me and my kids. Okay, so I understand how it feels. So I can say, like, I'm a single mother in quotes. So I'm here alone with 3 boys. So I know how it feels. I play soccer with them. He likes to draw. Yeah, get what's it called? A sketching pad and draw with him. This is what I did with my kids. This is my own painting out of what we all have our own painting. This is my own caricature. Do things with them. Okay? Not that I wanted to do the painting and every other thing. You do. He loves to paint. Fine. Buy him lots of painting activities or whatever and let him draw. And you draw and praise him. You see, our children, they love praises a lot. It's not just sincere praise, not lip service. Okay, whatever you're doing, show sincerity in it. Praise them when they do what is right. It's very important. It shows that you appreciate them. It's not only when they do something wrong, you're talking to them or scolding them. No. Let's learn to praise. There is a lot in the power of praise. Just the way we also praise God and we get things from God. Praise the children too. It's very important. Okay?
All right.
Yeah, just try it and for some time, and then if it doesn't work, we can take it further. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm on
Yes.
the platform, on the WhatsApp platform there, so you can buzz me and just pray about it first. You pray, work on yourself too. We don't want you want to do it quietly. You want to correct in love, not anger. You understand what I'm saying? Let it be from a place of love. So it might be that when you want to address that issue, you don't address it immediately because, when we talk about emotional intelligence, once they've done something wrong, you pass the message to our amygdala, and then you want to react immediately. No, like I tell my kids, take a pause, don't react. Okay, he has done something wrong. You've seen that he has done that thing wrong. Don't talk immediately. Take a pause. You understand me?
Yes.
Yeah, take a pause, take a deep breath, get a glass of water or something, drink, and then address it nicely and calmly. Let him understand why that thing is wrong. No, that I told you it is wrong and all that stuff. You don't listen. No, you know that what you did is wrong. You shouldn't have done this. You should have, and tell him why you're telling why it is wrong. Tell him no. Give him the option of better ways he should have done that thing or said that thing.
I try
Let's
to do
give.
that sometimes. I
Yeah,
try
I
to do
know.
that sometimes, but I do still meet that resistance from him. Yeah.
Yeah, then you need, like I said, everything we do, let's put it in prayers too. It will work with God on your side. If we take anything, the Bible says that except the Lord builds a house, the builder what? Builds in vain. So don't take it as you are the one talking. Let the Spirit of God speak through it and pray for him. It's very, very important. Like I said, my second son now, his prayer. I've branded him now from going upstairs to play with my neighbor. And I've told him, he's not happy about it. I said, yeah, but you need to work on yourself. These are certain things. He didn't get a birthday gift from me this year. He was hate this year. And he knows, he tells people, say, I didn't get a gift because I wasn't good enough. He said, no, I said because I didn't change my ways, or I haven't done I'm not where I'm supposed to be yet. So he knows. And he will say, Mommy, I'm trying. So let's teach them. Okay?
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You can boss me, we can talk more later, okay?
All
I
right.
don't know if any other person has any other question.
Okay. There's actually a question in the chat box.
Okay.
Solomon said, just like you said, that our children will do more of what they see their parents do. How do we resolve the issue where the parents themselves are not social or sociable? Even the communication between them is an issue. So this is an instance where even the parents is not sociable. So how do you begin to teach your child to be?
When I'm done, okay. Sorry. Okay, no problem. Go and have apple first. I'll come and give you that later when I'm done. Sorry about that. Okay, so yes, you see, it's always a difficult issue. You know, when you have a family that communication is lacking or they are not sociable, it's going to be difficult when you have such parents. But with God, nothing is impossible. Okay, so the parents, you know, like I said, we have to be role model. Sorry, excuse me. What?
Does
I'll bring the box for you. Get Pascal to give it to you. Get Pascal to give it to you. Sorry, excuse me. Pascal. Sorry about that. So, you know, it's going to be difficult, but notwithstanding, like I said, there's nothing God cannot do. When we have such children, you find out that there are different situations that that builds a child. In school, definitely, if the child is shy, if he or she can get a good teacher, it's going to be a difficult one. The thing is that the parents themselves need to accept that there is an issue and work on themselves and work with that child. It's very important. Because I don't know how we're going to resolve issues. How do we resolve the issue where parents themselves are not social or sociable? Even the communication with them is an issue. If the communication within the parents is an issue, the communication within the children shouldn't be an issue. The parents should speak with their children. There's no how the parents won't be speaking with their children. Now it is how they speak with those kids that we need to talk about. Okay? They need to talk to the children and all that stuff. And even when we build that trust, I'm looking for a better way to explain this. Because at times find out that some parents are not sociable, but their children are sociable. And I'm sure that deep within them, they have wishes that I wish I can do this, I wish my children can do this. But the first thing is this, if they are being sincere, okay, and they really want help, the children can get help. Okay, they can help those children to be who they are not be by making the children understand the disadvantage that you see, because I'm not sociable, I'm unable to do this. You know, do you know that being sociable opens, you know, a lot of windows for you and a lot of doors for you? And I've been in this country how many years, and I've made, like my kids, they tell me every Sunday, they say, "Mommy, we go to church every Sunday, you make friends every Sunday." I say, "How? What do you mean I make friends?" Say, "Yeah, people always like, hello, hi." I said, "Yeah, because we greet, talk to people." And every other thing. I have colleagues, I work from home, I have colleagues I've not met, but when they say, "Oh, KG, my friend, how are you?" I have one colleague, I've not met him, I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it looks like, because where I work, we manage so many garages and other stuff. So I work in the accounting division. My colleagues there have noticed there's no request is sent to my department. He copies me in all his requests because we've been able to form that relation. So we have an official email box, and we have time slots where all the requests that comes within this time, a certain person works on it. So even he doesn't know if it's my time shift or not, he sends that request. You understand? So if he's having a challenge with my colleague, he picks the phone and comes say, KG, I think he's Indian or Pakistani because of his accent. I don't understand what is that? I said, okay, don't worry. Even my colleagues will tell me, KG, seems you have a way with Barney. Can you please tell him this is what we want and every other thing? And so I'm like the middle person. So they need to be able to find a way to help that child. Okay, my husband is not that socially sociable,
First,
but
use your fingerprints to unlock the device.
good, leave me alone. You know, but we've been able to rub off on each other now. Like now, he makes friends a lot on his own and every other thing, and that is it. And my kids are like, my first son was not, but he's getting there. He's getting there. He makes friends and every other thing. And even me, I'm like, when we planned his birthday in April, his 10th birthday, I was like, okay, who are you inviting? He gave some list and everything. I was like, okay, all boys, no girls in your class. No girls, don't you have friends like girls? He said, oh, I'm like, what about Sophia? He said, yes. And I was like, how do you know? I said, you chat with her. You guys play games together online because he has this messenger case. He's on messenger case. Okay. And that's it. And do you know that the Sophia and they actually came for his birthday. From there, I met I met their parents too. She's a twin. I met their parents, and we are like friends. They're like my Italian family. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. So the parents need to help the children understand that, okay, because I'm not being sociable, I've not gotten I was unable to get this job or that. But definitely we write our resume, you say, I have great interpersonal relationships, interpersonal skills. What is interpersonal skills? What we are discussing here. No organization wants someone that is not sociable. Yeah, because you can't work alone, you definitely work in a team. If you're not sociable, you won't be a great team player or a team member. That is it. So the parents need to let them know the importance of networking, because that's what will open doors for you. The society has gone beyond just your resume. Your resume speaks for you too. But when it's time for interview, this is where this skill comes in. Your resume has taken you ahead, has made you become noticeable. They've invited you for an interview. So how do you defend what is on your resume? So we need that. And what those parents can do, another thing those parents can do is this: enroll those kids for programs that will help build their social skills. So I think that's the best thing they can do for those children. If I know that I don't have this and every other thing, I can do it. Yeah, we have people paying a lot for, we call it stage coach. Parents, children go for these programs. They go there so that they are able to build their self-confidence, to be able to do public speaking and all that stuff. So they can enroll those children to help those children overcome, this issue. Uncle Solomon, hope I've been able to answer that question.
Thank you very much. Yes, you've been able to. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. I know that now we have a lot of Nigerians online that are quite promoting, all these social etiquette and all that stuff. So they can, enroll them for such. And then I know we had one that's been on for long around that Ikeja. It's called, I think, Poise finishing school. I think it's Poise. It's a finishing school. We have these finishing schools. They're not like regular schools. They're just schools to help teach you social etiquette and all that stuff. It won't teach you everything, but then I think that's like the first step. That's it. And then from there, joining an alumni association also helps you. it also helps.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Katie. This has been a fantastic and phenomenal session. And oh, God bless you. And so basically, what we've also learned is that we need to walk the talk. As parents, we need to also, build our social skills, because we're not just training our children to be relevant in the world. We also need to be relevant. Everybody needs this skill. All right. Thank you so much. And we'll be coming back to you. I'll touch you off on the social media. We need to talk about this. It's very important. Okay. So I'll be maybe next month, but we'll have that chat privately. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this call. And I want to appreciate you for staying till this time, even though we've overshot our time by 22 minutes. But I believe it was well worth it. Okay, Sister Tejere, please, if you still need more help, please reach out. All right. Okay, on the group. And then we would ensure that by the grace of God, to a large extent, you find help. That is what PRGCC is. We're a support system. Okay, we want to be able to answer one another's questions. So please reach out, all right, from the group. God bless you all. So thank you, and do have a wonderful week ahead. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Blessed week, everyone.
So much. Bye.
Bye.